Welcome back, everybody. Another great episode here of the Patrick Carr Show. I love these monologues where we're able to get together and talk about how we can improve in life. That's what this is all about. And today's episode, I think, is going to resonate with a lot of us. It surely is something that I have had to work on for the last couple of years, and that's how to stop getting angry. How many of you out there have problems with your temper? How many of you have something happen in your day that you fly off the hinges a little bit, and then you have to look back and you might regret it? Things don't go your way and you react in a way that you're not proud of. We have that temper. We all have it. It's a temperament that we have within us that is built not only internally with our emotions that we're born with, but also in the experiences that we have in our life. Perhaps you saw a mother or father that struggled with their temper, and so therefore you do as well. Maybe it's all you know is that you want to try to react with yelling or a fierceness with your voice, because you feel like it overcompensates for things in which you lack. That's your own internal insecurities. We all have problems with anger in our own way. And today what I want to do is I want to give you some tips to help deal with that anger that you're going to have. I want to help you get through some of these situations in a more productive way. My goal here is not to say that you're not going to get angry, but we want to change how you react to that external stimulus so that you can get the most out of life. And so here we go. The first thing I want to tell you is today, something is going to affect your life that you didn't expect to happen. It's going to be something that you didn't plan for. And you must do one thing first. You have to identify why you are actually upset. This is something that so many of us struggle with. Maybe we have a partner, a business partner, or a partner in life, and they do something, they say something happens when we're out to dinner, whatever it might be with the kids, and we get angry. Now, sometimes, I would say most of the time, it is not what they did that gets us angry. It's what it speaks to internally. That's always that thing where, somebody forgets to do the dishes and all of a sudden one partner will fly off on another, won't they? Well, are they really angry that they didn't do the dishes, or are they angry that for, the past couple of weeks they feel like their needs have not been met and they're not being looked after? The most important thing to identify before you get angry is, why are you getting upset? Not the external stimulus, but what is the deeper meaning behind why you are upset right now? Now, once you've identified that, I want you to do this rule. I want you to understand one thing: to never raise your voice. You're never going to accomplish more by raising your voice at another individual. Now, this is a lesson I continue to have to learn myself, but it's one my father attempted to tell me when I was a child. He said, if you have to raise your voice to somebody in a disagreement, you've already lost. Not one person in ever the history has cared more about a subject simply because you yelled at them about it. If we're using the example of the dishes, or perhaps you're a manager of people on a sales team, goals have not been hit. Maybe you didn't end the year like you thought you should. The quarter or the sales didn't go like you wanted them to. Is your team going to react positively by you yelling at them? No. Not one person is going to try harder, do better, accomplish more by an individual raising their voice at them. So before you go ahead and you let that anger control you, now that you've identified exactly what it is that has you upset, remember to keep that voice at a level that is where you're talking at right now. What is your comfortable level to speak at? Number 3, I need you to understand what you are attempting to accomplish when you get angry. Okay, so you're angry. Something happened to you that not supposed to happen. Okay, now what? So what is the goal that you're attempting to accomplish with this? If the goal is simply just to bitch and moan about life, then you're not going to get anything out of it. What you need to identify quickly, and it'll move you away from the anger and into a solution mindset, is what do I want to see happen now? So I got a flat tire. That's the example that's coming to my head right now. I'm going to be late to work. All right, why are you really angry about that? Why are you pissed off? Is it because it's your third time being late to work and you know that those other times you could have controlled? Is it because something's happened to you that you feel like shouldn't happen to you in life, that life is about, going after you and attacking you? What emotion are you attaching to that external stimulus that has you so angry right now? And I need you to do this thing. I need you to say, okay, what am I attempting to accomplish right now? What goal do I have? What is in my control that I'm going to go after right now? And I want you to think in the terms of control. What do I have control over in this situation? And what am I attempting to go after? Once you've identified that and you've not raised your voice, I want you to take a 10-second count in your head. This, I'll tell you, This is something that I have personally probably patented myself, but I call it a 10-second count. When you are angry, your voice is going to move quicker. Your voice is going to want to raise. You're going to want to jump back at somebody. You're going to want to act out of emotion. I always say take a 10-second count. If you did it with me right now, you'd be shocked at how long 10 seconds is. I mean, just 1, 2, 3, 4. Imagine if you didn't react out of anger. You didn't say anything until you've done steps 1 through 3, identified what the problem is, not raised your voice, found out what you want the solution and what you want to accomplish, and you took time to actually consider that, to think about it. You took that time to not jump out of anger at another person, at a situation, but actually gave it some real thought today. And a 10-second count, I want you to remember that. Give yourself 10 seconds before you react to that external stimulus. And next, I need you to consider all options. So one of the things we like to do when we get angry is we want to jump to conclusions. When we get angry, we want to jump to the worst case scenario. You want to jump to the fact that your team is not going to hit your goals ever. You want to jump to the fact that you're not going to be successful at what you do. Jump to the fact that you're going to lose your job or your relationship. All the time when we get angry, we jump to different circumstances. Our mind begins to race because we're angry. We've allowed that emotion, that external stimulus, to control who we are and how we look at the outside world. So before you jump to that, I want you to consider all options that are available. And if you don't know what options, ask questions. Ask questions to the external individual that has got you upset. Ask questions of yourself. And let me tell you what this looks like. Maybe you're in a disagreement with a business partner and you feel like you absolutely understand the situation of why they're angry. Ask them why. Get down, instead of you making inferences, ask them questions. Ask them to understand, not to try to be right, but actually seek understanding over seeking to be right in what you do. This is one of the biggest things that I've changed my life when it came to disagreements or anger. Is that a lot of times I was angry because I wanted someone to do something that I wanted them to do. I wanted a situation to go like I wanted it to go. But imagine if you took that away. What if you just said, hey, listen, I want to understand what this person is doing. I want to understand why this person is angry with me. I want to understand why the team didn't hit the goals that they said they were going to hit. And instead of seeking to be right in the situation or seeking to motivate, you seek to understand the other individual and what's going on in their life. Now, once you've done that, I want you to try this trick, and I want you to, it's very difficult to do in a situation when you're in a disagreement with another person. But let's take that team that we were talking about. You are a manager over a sales team. What I would tell you to do is this. You allow that team to tell you why they didn't hit those goals. Allow your spouse to tell you why they're upset, the business partner to be angry with you, and instead of jumping back at anger with them, what I want you to do is I want you to take the time to explain it from their perspective. And it sounds like this. If I'm understanding you correctly, you feel blank, blank, blank because of this, this, and this. And this is what has caused you to feel like, and so what you want to do is explain themselves to you. It's a very difficult thing to do, and you have to do it without the need of sarcasm. I know there's that desire, well, you feel like I never do anything around here, so this is what no. You explain it in their emotion. Explain it like it's coming from them. You feel like I don't do enough around the house, and therefore you don't feel like you're valued with the hard work that you put in around here. And because you don't feel valued, you don't feel as though you want to do more things for me, and that makes you feel resentful towards me when you get home. Okay. And listen to what that individual says back to you. I promise you, if you've got it right, they're going to say, yeah, you got it right. And at that point, they're going to understand that you're not trying to, have one up on them, to be the one who's right in everything. What you're attempting to do is understand them. And in a moment where you could have been angry, you show empathy and understanding towards the people around you. That is a most powerful emotion that you can do for somebody because they feel like you're in the battle with them. So last thing I want to say is this. When these moments of anger come at you, if you have identified why you're upset, you've taken the time, you've not raised your voice, You've sought to understand the person that's in front of you instead of jumping down their throat, all right? If you've done that, sometimes what you need to do is take time away from the problem, away from what's the external stimulus that's making you angry, to discover the solution. I'm going to tell you that most things don't need to be solved right now. Most problems that you have, most things that happen in your life that are going to get you angry and upset, you don't need a solution for them in that moment. It can wait a day. It can wait a couple of days. Because what's going to happen is you're going to make a better decision when you are not stimulated by an outside circumstance. So if you need to make a decision about, let's see here, terminating someone from your company, do you need to make that decision after that person or after some sale has not gone like you want it to go? Is that the time to make that decision? No, because you're making a decision when you're in a heightened state of emotion, when you're angry. I've got a rule that I try not to make any decisions when I'm doing something out of anger, because it's usually not going to be the right way to do things. And if it is the right decision, I promise you're not going to execute it in the way that you would like. So sure, maybe it is a good idea to terminate that person. But how do you terminate them? Do you do it in a way to where they walk away from your company feeling as though they were valued, but they weren't the right fit for the position? Or are they walking away from that position and they're going, man, screw this guy. I'm going to go leave a 1-star review for them on Google and tell everybody how terrible they are because of how I was treated when I left. There's a difference in how you will go ahead and handle a situation depending on if you're in a heightened state of emotion with the anger that you have. So anger is something that right now, it'll truly control your life if you let it. But what I want you to do is I need you to step back, identify why it's angry today. I want you not to raise your voice. Find out what you want to accomplish, what the disagreement is, or what you need to accomplish when you decide you are angry. Take time in your head for just a couple of seconds before you react. Ask questions and seek to understand instead of being right. And then finally, take time that you need to discover a solution rather than trying to solve the problem right now. If you can do that, I promise you will be in a better position with the anger that you are dealing with right now. I'll tell you, one of the last things I heard a couple of weeks ago, the difference between being emotional intelligent and being self-aware. Emotionally intelligent people, they will be quick to anger and then they will apologize for that anger afterwards. They realize what they're doing is wrong. They're emotionally intelligent enough to do that. Those are these people right here. That's the 90%, okay? The 10%, they're self-aware. They realize in a moment of anger that they are going to raise their voice and they don't do it because they're self-aware in the moment and they're able to control the emotions that they have. You have a decision today whether you are going to be an emotionally intelligent person or you're going to be self-aware, and a lot of it will depend on how you react to an external stimulus that could get you angry, but today it's not going to happen. Today you're going to control that emotion and you're going to make a better decision because you're a powerful person, and you know what? You deserve that. So deal with anger better today. We're going to be back next time here on the Patrick Carr Show. I do love these monologues, and I hope you found value in it. If you did, make sure you subscribe to us. Put some comments below what you like, what you don't like. We always love to hear from you, and we'll see you next time here on the Patrick Carr Show.